Let us tie it all together with your first guest, who helps oversee his firm's $4 trillion in managed assets. That is Michael Arone. He is the chief investment strategist at State Street Global Advisors. Really has one of the biggest jobs in all of investing, Michael. So we love having you on. We got the Fed minutes coming out in a moment. I know you, listen, Nvidia, you're like, that's nice, but we're invested for the long haul. I get it. But there's probably no denying that how Nvidia and other AI-related stocks could determine the outlook for the entire U.S. stock market, I think.
Brian, I think you're right. Certainly, given the market cap weighting of those companies, they have a big impact on earnings and the big impact on direction of the markets. And I think the numbers are going to be just fine. I'm just not sure they'll be enough. So one of the interesting stats is over the last 7 decades, the companies who have spent the most money, capital expenditures, even in technology, have actually trailed the market on an annualized basis. Only the last decade have companies who have spent the most money on capital expenditures done well within tech. So investors have to ask themselves, will the big spenders be the big winners? And I'm not so sure. I think other tech companies will likely be the winners going forward.
Well, that's, it's random but interesting, dare I say, Michael, because that has been the trend the last decade, is that the big spenders are the ones that are seen as the forefront of AI, and the market is kind of hinged a little bit on that spending. And if that spending goes down, people do worry about the entire market. So what do you think changed? Why do you think the market has rewarded the big spenders lately, which, to your data point, the last 20 years before that, the market did not reward them? What happened?
Well, I think the big excitement about the prospects for AI and there was a view that big spending was going to have a big return on investment, a big payoff. And I think that the DeepSeek news way back in January kind of reset the clock. And so if we can create an open source, large language model with the same effectiveness, with a lower energy footprint, if that's possible, then all the spending may be for naught. And what will actually happen is the big spenders will create the pathway for everyone else to pick up and create better efficiencies, more interesting products, more interesting use cases. And I think that's what's happened historically, and I think that's what could happen again. Now, Brian, I want to let you know, we still like technology. We're still bullish on AI. It's just we're not sure that the big spenders will be the big winners in the future. We like a broader kind of exposure to the tech beneficiaries. For all those folks that are spending all that money, we think that other companies will take it and run with it and benefit from it and generate good use cases and good earnings.